An extraordinary call between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu has triggered a firestorm, and to call it a heated conversation would be a major understatement. Not only did Trump not mince any words while lashing out at Netanyahu, in his anger, he reportedly used language that we will just tell you about, which has also raised questions. And those words we obviously cannot say out loud. You see, as journalists, we are supposed to bring you exact quotes and statements. But when a world leader uses such words, we have no choice but to hide behind asterisks. First, what was the call about? According to an Axios report, President Trump on Monday reportedly hit the brakes on the Israeli Prime Minister's plan to bomb Hezbollah targets in Beirut. This was after Iran threatened to abandon its negotiations with America over Israel's actions in Lebanon. What exactly did Donald Trump say? Well, a lot. And I repeat, we are putting out the statement concealing those words with asterisks. According to the Axios report, Trump told Netanyahu, "You are crazy. You would be in prison if it weren't for me. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this," quote unquote. That entire statement on your screen. It could not be more brutal than this, clearly. And according to the report, at one point, Donald Trump yelled at Netanyahu and went ahead and said what is also there on your screen. How can we possibly read out those words on television? Would I ever use such language on the show, for example? But then note those words. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this, quote unquote. That's what the American president reportedly said. Is this the kind of damage that has been done to Israel is the immediate question that also is being asked. Has Netanyahu then become the worst prime minister in Israeli history is also being asked. And these are among the many questions doing the rounds. The Axios report also highlighting how the two leaders have had several tense calls in the past, but have still coordinated closely on Iran and other issues. The report says, according to one official, this was one of Trump's worst calls with Netanyahu since he returned to office. And that at a time like this clearly tells you a lot. And what was the end result, you ask? The report, citing an Israeli official, said, Israel no longer plans to strike Hezbollah targets in Beirut. What was Trump's anger about, really? According to the Axios report, Trump was concerned by the fact that Israel had killed so many civilians in Lebanon and objected to the Israelis knocking down buildings to take out a single Hezbollah commander. The report says Trump's anger appeared to be driven by the fact that Netanyahu's decision to escalate in Lebanon was threatening to implode his negotiations with Iran. In fact, here's something else you should know, just for further perspective. In a development that in a way broke with political tradition. It broke with political tradition. The New York mayor on Sunday did not attend the city's annual Israel Day parade. Mamdani reportedly talked about skipping that event well in advance, and during a press conference had also said that he has made his views on the Israeli government abundantly clear. Now, coming back to the phone call between Trump and Netanyahu, Trump clearly had a lot to say, and his messaging, those statements, the use of those words, all of this has triggered questions and speculation about what all this means for Netanyahu and the Trump-Netanyahu equation, given Trump's apparent frustration and anger over the situation. So that latest call between the two has naturally led to speculation about where things stand between them. Questions like, is Netanyahu resorting to these actions in Lebanon to jeopardize the US-Iran deal, for example? Is a possible rift now out in the open? And where do things even go from here? What's going on behind the scenes? The thing is, Trump's call, the manner in which it was conducted, are all signs. And as the Axios report also says, his decision to rein in Netanyahu was a clear signal that he does not want his key ally to get in the way of a deal with Iran. Fear, panic and uncertainty spreading across parts of South Africa after Mozambique confirmed that at least 5 of its citizens were killed in what it described as xenophobic attacks over the weekend. The deaths marking the first officially confirmed fatalities linked to a wave of protests against undocumented immigration reportedly that has swept through several parts of the country. And according to the government there, around 800 of its citizens were caught up in violence that erupted in a southern coastal city on Friday. And as the tensions escalated, hundreds scrambled to escape the unrest. The region has witnessed anti-migrant protests similar to those reported in the financial capital Johannesburg, also Durban and parts of the Eastern Cape province in recent weeks, for example. Last Wednesday itself, the first group of Ghanaian nationals repatriated from South Africa arrived in Accra after waves of anti-immigrant protests heightened safety concerns within the foreign communities. The group included women and children, with authorities launching a voluntary relocation process for citizens who say they no longer feel safe.
Why do they not change their energy to their parliament house? Why not change their energy to their state institution? Why not change their energy to the ordinary Africans? Why not change their energy to those institutions that they feel like they're going to work for them? Immigration are there. So if the immigration failure, what are you going to do?
South Africa, the continent's most industrialized economy as such, has long been a destination for both legal as well as undocumented African workers. Reportedly, several African countries, including Kenya, Nigeria, have also urged their citizens in South Africa to exercise caution. Listen to this.
South Africans would generally like to see fewer immigrants on the street. They'd like to see the borders closed or at least strengthened. They would like to see South Africans privileged more in the labor market and access to services. But most South Africans are not willing to march and to support the kind of violence that we've seen in the last few weeks.
In fact, South African authorities have condemned violence against foreign nationals and pledged to crack down on xenophobic attacks, saying such acts have no place in the country's constitutional democracy. And staying on with the world of sport, Serena Williams has confirmed her return to professional tennis this month. The 23-time Grand Slam champion will compete at women's doubles at Queen's Club after an absence of almost 4 years. The 44-year-old has been granted a doubles wild card with a 19-year-old. Williams will be taking the court in London at the WTA 500 event, 196 weeks after her final appearance at the 2022 US Open. Speculation about a comeback started last year itself when Williams appeared in the sport's drug testing pool. And the rumors intensified after her name was added to the ITIA reinstatements list in the month of February. Despite her initially denying plans to return, Williams, in a statement from organizers, said, and I'm quoting, "Queen's Club feels like the perfect place to begin this next chapter. Grass has given me some of the most meaningful moments of my career, and I am excited to be back competing on one of the sport's most iconic stages." Williams is one of the most decorated tennis players, of course. Her 23 Grand Slam singles titles, the most by a woman in the Open era, and she has the second highest of all time in the women's game behind Margaret Court's tally of 24. She spent 319 weeks at the top of the world rankings and won 73 singles titles on the WTA Tour. She won 73 singles titles on the WTA Tour. In fact, she also spent 319 weeks as world number one and won 73 WTA singles titles. She also captured 14 Grand Slam doubles titles with sister Venus Williams and 4 Olympic gold medals. She completed the rare career Golden Slam in both singles and doubles, winning all 4 Grand Slams and Olympic gold.
Yeah, I mean, that's fun. That's cool. She has a really cool personality. She's fun and she's a legend, and it's inspiring to see, you know, and I'm actually excited to see her play and probably face her. So it's very cool. It's very good news for tennis.
Remember, Serena's sister returned to tennis in July 2025 at the age of 45 after almost 2 years away from the tour. Venus, who will turn 46 this month, still actively competes in both singles and doubles. The world's biggest sporting spectacle is set to begin. Z Entertainment Enterprises Limited, or Z, has launched its new live sports TV channels under the brand name United Sports after getting approval from India's Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Z will broadcast the 2026 and 2030 World Cups and the 2027 Women's World Cup among 39 FIFA tournaments until 2034. United Sports bringing people together through the power of sports. The newly launched channels are now the only place on TV to watch the FIFA World Cup 2026 in India. And the 4 sports channels which are now live are United Sports 1, United Sports 1 HD, United Sports 2, United Sports 2 HD, and they are available across 500 plus leading cable and distribution platforms. And this includes Dish TV, Tata Play, Airtel, Sun Direct, City Networks. The live streaming will be available on Z5 to help Indian sporting fans stay connected. The World Cup, to be co-hosted by the United States, Canada and Mexico, kicks off on the 11th of June, remember. And for the first time in history, the tournament expands to 48 teams playing a record 104 matches. India, the world's most populous nation with 1.4 billion people, not playing at the World Cup. Apart from football, United Sports will also offer a wide range of sporting action, including cricket, kabaddi, badminton, wrestling, boxing, and combat sports. And speaking on the new sports channels, the Chief Business Officer of United Sports saying the focus is on ensuring seamless access for viewers, supported by strong partnerships across the distribution ecosystem. He said, and I'm quoting, "We are geared up to present the upcoming FIFA events across our channels, and we remain well positioned to deliver a compelling viewing experience to fans across the nation," quote unquote. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.